Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Yeah. Okay, what do we do next? We continue with the reviews here that we have stopped at in the last session. So, bug fix. Units located above the terrain can no longer teleport into airborne transports. Units located above the terrain can no longer teleport into airborne transports. Yeah, okay, so here I don't yet fully understand this condition here. So goal, whose goal? Okay, so object is the guy who wants to enter the Chinook. Goal is the guy that we want to enter, right? Okay, so the first question I have here, there's another condition above in this function. There's another condition above this function above. Does that also need changing? Yeah, so I assume that if this condition is changed down here, then maybe the same is necessary here. I'm not sure. Good. So the goal is the guy we want to enter. If goal. Get minor radius. We didn't enter. See if we are class. Radius. Close enough. Make sure we entered the container. Position dx. Square root radius. Square root radius. Close enough. Close enough. Grab the container and force ourselves into it. Close enough. So down here, it gets the X and Y difference between these guys. Yeah. Radius, close enough. Smaller than radius. Square root radius, radius, minor radius, not box. Let me see his explanation to this. Fixing the floating issue will also solve this issue, however, it is still proper to ensure the z-bounds of the respective objects overlap before boarding can occur. Floating infantry can teleport back aboard the Chinook. After, floating infantry cannot teleport back aboard the Chinook. Okay, but he didn't really explain how this fixes the problem. So, goal position Z plus get max height above position. Max height. Sorry. Small. Oh, I have troubles understanding this condition. Can you explain? Can you break down this condition and explain? I can't wrap my head around this. Oh, I pressed the stop button. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, yeah. So goal Z, goal top, object Z. Set as a base position, top height, goal, 1D along Z. So here's a goal. Goal Z, goal top, object Z, object top. Part B, goal is completely below object. Stage. Goal is completely below objects. The top of the goal is below the bottom of the object. No overlap. Goal is entirely underneath. Goal is completely above objects. Okay, I still don't understand. Goal is completely above object. Okay, so it means that it's out of reach. Yeah. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, it means that this guy is not close enough from the bottom and not close enough from the top. Goal is above terrain and goal is above terrain and not object is above terrain. Goal is entirely below objects. Goal is entirely below object. goal is entirely below object, or goal is entirely above object. Goal is entirely... Is it? Huh? Yeah. Okay, I think that's a good description of it. Goal is entirely below object. Const bool. Goal. Let's say goal is... Goal below objects. Let me ask... goal top is larger, smaller equal. Can you rewrite this condition so that it is more readable? Goal top is smaller object Z. Goal Z is larger object top. Goal top. No vertical overlap. Has vertical separation. Okay, that's not a bad idea. AZ, A top, AZ plus that. Okay, that's actually a good suggestion. It's vertical separation. Vertical separation. AZ A top. AZ A top. Top is AZ plus that. Get max height above position. This condition is hard to read and understand. Can you perhaps factor this into a... Can you perhaps factor this to become more readable? Something like it's object, right? Object. So we do const object. Courtesy of GP. Is above terrain, not above terrain. Is above terrain. It has vertical separation. Is that really the right name for it? Is has vertical separation really an appropriate name for this function? Great question. It's acceptable but not ideal. The vertical intervals do not overlap. Does not measure distance, gap size, Boolean non-intersection test. Distance, a gap. Get vertical separation, which this is not. Are vertically disjoint. Is vertically disjoint. Sets with no intersection. Has no vertical overlap. Has no vertical overlap. Vertical overlap. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, it tests that, yeah, it has no vertical overlap. It's pretty clear. So you have something AZ, a top. Let me ask, is it would it perhaps make sense to write a bottom instead of AZ? AZ, just a coordinate, you must remember this is the bottom of the object. Yeah, bottom, top, lower bound, upper bound. So we can say also a lower, upper. Lower, upper. Okay, that's a good idea. So So I would write A lower, A upper, and then B lower, upper. Okay, then this one here is B lower, A lower, and B upper, and A upper. Like this. How about this? Very close. Good and readable. There are 2 bugs. What is a bug? Ah, right. I didn't update the text. Yeah. So that would be A lower and B lower. Lower and upper axis agnostic. Precise interval terminology often preferred in math heavy. Okay. That one I think is brainstormed with our friends, Chippy. So A lower, A upper, lower, upper. If A upper is smaller than B lower, or A lower is larger than B upper. Larger than B upper. A upper is smaller than B lower. Can we just say A upper must be smaller than B lower? How about we invert it? How about we invert the function to be has vertical overlap? Excellent idea. Yeah, because it's not good to have like a negative in a function. Yeah, because then you have like this, if you want to say has vertical overlap, you would have to say not has no vertical overlap. And this, so it's always better to have variables and function names and everything with no negative in it. And then the inverted becomes this. Let's do that. You see, engineering is is about writing the code in ways that it's human readable. Yeah. I mean, he wrote this code. I don't think he generated it with AI, but he probably wrote it the way he thought about this problem without thinking about, okay, is it actually readable? So the problem is like when you read this code, like you need to infer the intent here, and it's really hard to understand the intent. That's why you write functions. And a function, you state the intent, give the arguments for it, you do the hard work, and then it's much easier to understand, because now you just look at the condition and you can say, okay, state success and not has vertical overlap. Boom. It's much, much easier. Okay, so A upper must be larger equal B lower. Yeah, this is now much easier to understand. And A lower smaller equal B upper. A lower. Yeah. suggestion. Okay, I like that. That one is very nicely readable now. I like that. Yeah. Okay, good. Then that will be my review. Now that took us, I don't know, 20 minutes to come to this conclusion here. Okay, good. Before we continue here, let's see if we got any updates on the Pathfinder one. What do we have here? Okay, we can factor a CMake to build the non-MSC tools now. Okay. Okay, let me take a look at this one from the Mauler. But assumes X, but I think it makes a good point. Leave the pointer at the top and put the 4-byte types below and then smaller bits at the bottom, sort from largest to small. I'll probably pack the variables in the later refactor when I move more pathfinding info into the pathfinder. I'm not recommending. I'm not proposing packing now. Just reorder from large to small. Right now you have 4-byte types above the pointer, above the 4-byte pointer, 4-byte pointer type, which is okay in 32 bits arc, but not perfect in 64-bit arc. Right now, this has 4-byte types above the 4-byte pointer type. When we consider 64-bit. Okay, cool. I think you can still put the above. Not essential. You still put the above. It's not essential, but would avoid error if someone tried to set pathfinding 1 and no. Try to set pathfinding 0 and elsewhere. Instead of undef, you could also do error on this constellation. Signaling that this is unexpected. This is an unexpected setup. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, that's fair. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, but it means no one note that this would not allow the programmer to set to 0 in CMake, for example, in a CMake setup, for example. The reason game defines puts them like so. Is that it allows to define 0 and then game defines that H will respect that and not conflict. So just to carry on this convention. Okay, good. Then let me continue with these reviews here. Chinooks and Helixes not correctly wait for the passengers to disembark. I know it's a passenger every... Oh, we have seen this already in a previous session. Right, let's look at the code. Oof. Get object, get contain. Else if. Else if. Has objects wanting to enter or exit. Get objects. Get position. Correctly wait for the passengers to disembark. Okay, let's take a look at the issue video again. Right. Okay. Retake compatible CNC. Can be simplified a bit by caching the contain pointer before the if. Is this a bug fix? Yeah. Bug fix. Okay. Okay, let's submit that. Jets now defer attack, force attack, attack, move, and guard commands while reloading. Okay, that's a bigger change, 160 lines. I won't be reviewing this now. This one's more delicate. Right now, it says 4 white tiles. I agree with this ordering here. Yep. Let me also sums up the bot. Yeah. Okay. Good. We're happy with that. Good. Let's go to Jurassic Lizards. Yeah. In GUI framework, let's take a look at this guy. Okay. Oh, he has hidden all my comments. Okay, let's see. Now link in GUI for rendering targets. Okay. But now with the new change, doesn't that still mean that it is added to all projects, added to all targets through Core I always? Okay, fair enough. Copyright header is missing. Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Did Omniblade approve of this approach? Okay, that's fair enough. Windows plugins currently not supported for ImGUI. It still says ImGUI integration here. It still says ImGUI integration. ImGUI. Okay, that looks good. ImGUI library. Okay, fair enough. Can match this with line above. Let's see. Well, that's the wrong change. Fair enough. Quickens. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Bit with ImGUI. Perfect. But this one is still wrong here. Okay, fair enough. Win main. Its placement gonna work. You're right. If we have to copy paste all the frame management, but this method is much more efficient. I wanted to spare writing a new class and externalizing its variables between multiple units where possible. But if I have also put it in WordBuilder and other tools where I suspect ImGUI will be very useful. I think I found out that DX wrapper is the most central and least problematic location we can use. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, cool. Frame manager. Okay. I will review this in more detail. Just glimpsing over it. Okay, fair enough. Oh boy. Okay. What about this here? That one is removed by the looks of it. Okay. What's the time? No, almost 1 hour. I played the map and I get what you mean, and I already did before. Mix taking off with 0 missiles and immediately landing again is really annoying. The issue has been known forever. The fix would be simple. Mix with 0 missiles. Mix with 0 missiles should never take off until they have at least 1 missile, or unless they are manually moved. Yes, mix with at least 1 missile should take off immediately when given an attack command. Aha. Making mix and air units in general looking. I see. It's a good point, yeah. Yeah. Let me this is a reasoner this is a reasonable suggestion, but it feels like it is just half half a fix, because it then still causes planes with partial reload to launch, which is also undesirable. For example, when we are Air Force and we have all the King Raptors reloading, we would like to be able to launch them with like to be able to launch them fully reloaded, no exception. Maybe with guard mode. Okay, I understand. So, if I understand correctly, you want move command, start takeoff always, attack command, take off when at least take off with at least one bullet, guard commands take off when fully reloaded. Take off when fully reloaded only. As soon as possible. Yeah, okay, I kind of agree with that. That looks like a reasonable suggestion. Seems intuitive too. Okay, I kind of agree. If this is what he means, it kind of makes sense. Move always. Don't care about bullets. Attack. Attack when there's at least one bullet, as soon as you can. Guard commands only take off when fully reloaded, not before. I think this makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if that's already what he has. Green landing. Good. Okay, good. I think I will I think we'll take a break here or end it here, let's say. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I hope you enjoyed. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.